Match number 7 would see the one we'd all been waiting for, the main event, the fatal four-way for the Invictus Cup. So let's remind ourselves of the 4 competitors. We had Essex Rescue favourite Samuel St Daniels taking on Robbie Taylor, Duchess Sophia and Cameron Kai. Now we'd see Cameron Kai would start straight away with a big boot to Duchess Sophia, before Kai and Robbie Taylor would turn their attentions to each other, with Taylor hitting a big lariat and a drop kick to Kai, and then a handspring back elbow. Taylor would then lariat St Daniels to the outside and then hit a that Spider-Man pose on the ring post again, but this time with a diving elbow, and all 4 competitors would fight outside. We see Sophia deliver some brutal chops to Kai. You'd see St Daniels and Taylor fight into the fans, with Taylor delivering some chops. You'd see Kai fire Sophia into the ring post. Yeah, St Daniels and Taylor would actually fight onto the stage, and then Taylor would deliver a Hurricane Rana on St Daniels off the stage. Then he'd follow this up with a stage dive onto all his opponents. Honestly, absolute pandemonium going on at this point. He then hit a springboard moonsault in the ring to St Daniels, followed up by a swanton to St Daniels, but Kai would then deliver a Ushigoroshi, that beautiful Ushigoroshi to Taylor, and Taylor would get eliminated from the match just like that after such a fantastic show. Now, St Daniels and Kai would turn their attention to Duchess Sophia, who'd managed to fight him off. Eventually, the pair, the alliance that these two have formed would quickly wear off, as they would actually fight over who would get to beat her down, with Kai delivering a chop to St Daniels, and then they would absolutely brawl. Kai would hit a super kick, but St Daniels would respond with a headbutt that would wipe out Kai, and then would deliver a headbutt, but then Kai would wipe out St Daniels, and whilst he was distracted, Duchess Sophia would actually roll up Kai to eliminate him from the match. Now, these two, then Sophia and St Daniels being the last 2 remaining competitors, would go absolutely at it, with St Daniels pulling Duchess Sophia into the ring post and hitting his 5-star frog splash, a beautiful 5-star frog splash that he possesses, but only for a near fall. He'd then lock in that Boston Crab that he possesses, but she'd refuse to tap, so he would then pull out the sit-out powerbomb. Absolutely brutal way to finish things, to pick up the pinfall victory and win the cup, be crowned the 2nd ever Invictus Cup winner. Now, the first Invictus Cup winner, Tommy Tanner, the ultimate geezer himself, would come out to present the Invictus Cup to St Daniels. Now, there is there's a bit of rivalry between these two on the scene, and they'd square up, and then with St Daniels trying to sneak attack on Tanner, Tanner would then deliver the super kick to St Daniels, with this potentially building up to a matchup in the near future within UKPW. What a match this would be between these two as well. Absolutely 2 of the best that BritWres has to offer. Now, what a absolutely fantastic fatal 4-way to finish the evening on. The 4 competitors in this match, they gave their all. They delivered an absolute showcase, spectacular match for the fans to go out on a high. Robbie Taylor, absolutely fantastic performance. That stage dive, absolutely phenomenal. Cameron Kai, absolutely great showing from him, as I expected, having seen him in that first match. That Ushigoroshi, I absolutely love it. And then, Duchess Sophia gave her all. Obviously, sometimes it's harder for the female competitors, especially against 3 big men, which they are. But she lasted to the final 2, and there's a reason for that, because she is one of the best female talents that is in the country at the moment. So, plaudits to her. But she came up short, or they all came up short, against Samuel St Daniels, who's on a roll in every company at the moment. Absolutely fantastic, absolute dominant wrestler on the scene at the moment. He's just making waves everywhere he goes. Absolutely love me some Samuel St Daniels, even if he did get super kicked by the ultimate geezer Tommy Tanner at the end of things. If you ever get a chance to see any of these 4 competitors in action, +5 if you include Tanner, I thoroughly recommend you do so. Go check them out live for yourselves.